and talk about the elephant in the room, and that is AI content. I mean, you've been in the space for a long, long time. So maybe just to get your views, maybe outlooks of what the future looks like with it in terms of niche websites and blogging.
I've typically been like behind the technology. So when Jasper first came out in GPT-3, I heard all this great stuff and I waited because I don't like learning new things. I'm getting old now and technology scares me.
Yeah.
So I'm late to the party. More recently I've been playing with some of the tools and it's still not living up to the promises from like a couple years ago
Mm.
where you could just have one of the tools write a post for you. Many of the tools have gotten a lot better. So I have played around and I won't mention specific ones, but some of them have been much better than I expected. And there's one or two where it almost requires no editing. It's longer form. Some of the tools, like you can only write like a paragraph or two, but
Mm.
they're getting better. And, recently Chat GPT came out. I haven't played with it yet to date. By the time this comes out, I will have tested it out and stuff. But I kind of, I'm mixed, right? So I'm obviously speculating. My hunch is it's still being overpromised and there's a ton of buzz at the time that we're recording this and everyone is very excited. There's New York Times articles, like any technology writer is into it. Twitter's going crazy. All the email lists that I'm on, people are like, this is a game changer. But I heard the same exact thing with GPT-3,
Yeah.
almost the same. Now, the difference here is this is a further iteration. And I know from a software standpoint, they've had a few more years to work on it. And they've been taking, more inputs. They see what didn't work as well. And my hunch is it is probably much better than it was. But, from a, niche site content standpoint or authority site or whatever, I think if it's really easy for everyone to just use the tools and publish, then there's going to be some other differentiator.
Yeah.
And that could be original ideas. And that's the thing I don't think the tools can do is put together original ideas where you're combining a couple things. Now, maybe that doesn't matter much for some of the keyword research driven content,
Mm.
but maybe it does. Maybe that'll be the thing that sets it apart. So what about you? What's your take?
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat. I mean, we kind of touched on it at the beginning of the podcast, but I think that will be. I mean, it kind of is now anyway, but it will be the big differentiator in that ability to be like, in my experience, in my opinion, this is what I found, this is what I prefer, this is what I like, etc., etc. I think gives more weight to what you're writing than just regurgitating whatever's already been written on page one because it's coming from you, the person writing, from your, and if people are following your brand or you, then it's your brand's message coming through that content versus just some generic thing like, yes, dogs can eat whatever this is and it's perfectly safe, blah, blah, blah. But then maybe you're writing like, I fed my dog this, my dog didn't like it or liked it. He liked it more when I added this food with this thing as a treat. This is how I made the treat. Those kind of things, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I the other part is I've said this on a couple live streams, but like, what are we trying to do? So if you like, let's say someone is trying to start a site and they want to do all AI content, they are trying to just do some process where they can like earn some money. Like that's
Yeah.
because we're doing this to earn some money. So I like it seems like kind of an empty kind of job, it's like a factory job, like a high tech modern like factory job where you're just like, all right, I'm going to feed keywords in and then I'm going to get some content out and then I'm going to publish it and then wait. So I do question like what is that person trying to do? Like what's the point? Like if they're adding no value, why are they doing it? If the machine can do it, then why are they doing it? Like what's the point? So again, a lot of promises were made with the other other iterations. I assume this one will be a little bit better, but it's supposed to be able to write code, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure.